Welcome, friends, to another episode of Ready, Set Reiki. Thank you so much for joining us. And before beginning our journey today, exploring into this beautiful modality of service called Reiki, I'd just like to take a moment to introduce you to our guides. So welcome, my name is Tracy Seawright. I am one half of your guide, and my other guide is...
Yes. Hi, this is Millie Pampina, and I'm also your co-guide for this amazing path and journey into, the healing energies of Reiki. And today we have joining us Mia Rusinko. Mia, we have your beautiful picture and bio up on our ReadySetReiki.com website. However, I'd like to invite you now to, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tracy and I have known you for a very long time. We're so excited to have you here as one of our, practitioners, masters, teachers, and our personal masters in our journey in becoming teachers ourselves. So thank you so much for your time today. And let's start with you. What's going on with Mia, and how'd you get here? And tell us a little bit about yourself.
I want to thank you both first, Millie and Tracy, for inviting me to be a part of this journey with you. It's so exciting, and I'm so proud of both of you. Look how far you've come. It's such a joy. So about me, I am a Usui, Karuna, Holy Fire, and Kundalini Reiki master, practitioner, and teacher in all of those modalities. I offer quantum healings, chakra balancing, self and soul alignment, as well as intuitive card readings, spiritual mentorship, and public speaking, just about empowerment. I think there's such great power in sharing your story and inviting others to share theirs and find their own path through this journey of life.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm sitting here getting relaxed, just, listening to you. So when did Reiki come into all this and into your life that, brought you here at this time?
So I found Reiki, I call it a happy accident. So I was very naive when I went to my first Reiki 1 class. I had never experienced Reiki. In all honesty, I was hoping to bump up my resume, looking to add an additional modality onto what I offered. I worked primarily with horses and dogs at that point, equine massage therapy, training, boarding, and I had read online that horses liked Reiki. So I had no expectation from that class. Now, in hindsight, I was always spiritual. I was always connected to the divine. From a very young age, I was able to see, feel, and sense energy. It took me a long time to recognize that not everyone could. But when I went into that Reiki 1 class, my life was turned upside down in such a beautiful way. So I'm going to backtrack just a little bit. Over 20 years ago, I was in a horrific car accident. There was a woman that was speeding and driving. She had lost control of her car and hit me head on in my lane. The trauma and damage to my body was extensive. I had complete facial reconstruction. I had hemorrhaging in both of my eyes. My teeth were sheared off. My ankles, my knees, my wrists, everything had just been demolished. I felt like Humpty Dumpty. And it took many years to put my parts and pieces back together. Physically, I healed much faster than I did spiritually and emotionally. Traditional Western medicine was helping, but not giving me the tools that I needed to allow myself to move forward on that healing journey. So I feel that I spent far longer in a very dark place than I should have. When I came to that Reiki 1 attunement class, I felt at that point in time all of my energy that had been lost, neglected, forgotten about, even given away through the process, returning back to me. And for the first time in many years, I had hope again that healing was possible. And I thought at that point in time, if I could pay this miracle of healing forward, so that one person did not have to suffer the way I did, that would be my purpose on this earth. and it changed the trajectory of my life. I did a pivot and embraced this Reiki journey, constantly educating myself to learn more so that I could be of better service to others, and recognizing that everything that I had gone through had happened for a reason, to lead me to that place so that I could offer empathy and understanding and compassion to those that may suffer.
Thank you. That's very uplifting. And, with that, it shows your resilience. So
Absolutely.
the question is, what does resilience mean to you?
And that's, funny. I actually looked up the definition of resilience for this. And the given definition of resilience is the ability of a substance or object to spring back into shape. And I thought that was beautiful. But resilience to me means navigating adversity or obstacles that come into your life with grace. And I apply that energetically by choosing to respond and not react, and recognizing that I can be the shaper of how I move through my life, not having to be shaped. If something shapes me, it's because I choose to be shaped or changed by the experience. So to me, resilience is just about, recognizing that one of our superpowers as human beings is the ability to choose how we show up for ourselves, how we show up for others, no matter the circumstance. We can always turn back to grace.
And how has Reiki empowered this for you and within you?
Reiki was a beautiful tool or modality that enabled me to find the capacity to always be present. But with Reiki, I never felt hopeless or helpless again. I always had something that I could turn to bring my energy back into harmony and alignment. And I wish that we would be taught that we are as organized energetically as we are physically, and just the importance of practicing good energy hygiene, allowing ourselves to process all of our emotions fully, experiencing everything, even the highs, the lows, but releasing that which no longer serves us. And to me, Reiki was the conduit that led me to that place of awareness.
And how can this empower others, Mia? What would be your thoughts and your, words on that?
I really think that Reiki is accessible to anyone. So the same gifts that Reiki gave to me, offered me, are available to anyone. You are capable of being present. You are able to be empowered. You get to choose how you move through your life. And through Reiki, you can create a life that you love to live. And I'm not telling anyone to change their life unless it needs changed. I think the key really is to changing how you move through it. So remember that you do have grace. You are strong. You are capable. You are empowered. And you can navigate anything that comes to you.
I'm starting to feel so calm here. I'm so enjoying this. So, tell us about your client base. What's it look like? What are the goals and intentions that you can work with and you feel comfortable with?
My client base has really remained the same over the years. But I think after a near-death experience, I shifted how I showed up for my client base. So in 2018, I had gone into the hospital for routine sinus surgery. I had a reaction to the medication that they used. My heart stopped. I was dead for 4 minutes. They defibrillated me 3 times, brought me back into my body. But during that experience, I left my body. I went into the light, and I was given my purpose for being. So when I returned to my body and I started to reconnect to my client base, my goal, my purpose, my intention for others is to really align with the truth of who they are at a soul level, to allow them to release limiting beliefs, misperceptions about themselves, even identities that they've created that were once necessary to protect them or carry them through circumstances that they no longer need. So often we create these identities and we take them on as permanent, and we fail to realize that they are actually temporary. So when I think about the way I serve my clients, I was reflecting on this morning, and what came to me is the image of me as a small child holding a flashlight for my dad, to work on something. And I just hold the flashlight, just to illuminate all that is possible within you. So I am really just the flashlight holder, shining that light on your own truth, on the love that is in your heart, on your potential and your possibility, and helping you, empowering you to recognize your own resilience and your strength. And you don't have to heal alone. I think sometimes too, the things that we go through can feel very isolating. We don't feel comfortable truly sharing with everyone. So I create a safe space for my clientele to come to me, and we just shine that light on that which needs to be processed, healed, brought into the light so that they can move forward without the weight of it.
Just beautiful. So at this time, what do you wish your younger self knew about your current profession and work?
I would tell my younger self to be patient, to trust the process. I would tell her that healing is possible. And I want to touch briefly on this too, because I think that there's a misconception about healing. Healing does not necessarily mean cured. To me, healing means the ability to navigate that which comes to you from a higher perspective. So healing looks different for everyone, but I would want my younger self to know that I was safe. I was safe in my body, that I would step into what I was meant to be. And everything that happened to me for a reason.
Thank you. So, in your thoughts, in your opinion, from your valued, experience, what is something that everybody in your industry should stop or start doing?
I think that what I've observed goes even further than simply just this holistic industry. And that would be for people to stop judging themselves and stop judging others, to practice that radical acceptance, to fully feel all of their emotions. We're so quick to label good and bad and then compare ourselves to others or others on the journey or someone else that may be doing this work, and give themselves permission to truly lead with their heart. When you let love lead the way and your intentions are pure, we all mess up. We all make mistakes. We're learning, we're growing, but we can do that together. And I think just embracing that unity consciousness would be such a beautiful gift.
Thank you. I've learned that so much from you about allowing my heart to do the lead and do the thinking. And it's worked for me in so many wonderful, loving, and magical ways over the years. So, you're in this industry. You've mentored several of us into the industry that I'm aware of, probably far more.
And I'm very grateful for that. I love everything that I do. I love the people that share this journey with me. It's such a blessing.
And as do I. And I'm sure Tracy does too, because that's how we met. But what advice would you give to somebody who is entering the profession?
My advice would be to be patient with yourself. Continue to educate yourself. I think I will be a lifelong student. So anytime I think I have answers, I just come up with more questions. So I'm always searching and seeking. So my advice would be to don't talk yourself out of getting started, to be patient with yourself, love yourself through the process, and be open to the synchronicities and just allow your heart again to guide you forward, because there are very many Reiki practitioners out there. but we each bring different gifts to the table. And I was talking to someone yesterday, and she was comparing experiences from different practitioners. And although Reiki is the same, I said to her, Reiki's the same Reiki flows through each one of us, but we bring our own flavor to it. So just be you, celebrate yourself. Don't be afraid. Don't talk yourself out of anything, and be patient and trust the process.
So with that being said, what are some of the qualities you personally look for in a Reiki practitioner?
I look for someone who walks their talk, who speaks their truth, who lives their truth. I often say that I am in the messy middle all the time. And I love people that are honest with their healing. Come sit with me in my mess. I'll come sit with you in yours. And let's just walk through this journey together. So, I don't want someone to tell me that they're perfect, that they're ascended, that they've achieved everything, because I don't think that's a possibility in this lifetime. I don't think that's why we're here as human beings. I think it is to just learn together, to grow together, to support each other, and celebrate all of the experiences available to us, whether they're highs or lows, or that messy middle that we get in, because it happens. It's supposed to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. My messy middle is probably right up there with the rest of them. So what training and books do you recommend? I know you've given me a lot of feedback on books and training and, items that I should be, focused on using and that help me experience branching out into other areas. How do you feel about that, and what are your recommendations?
So I am always reading, always learning. Again, I will be a lifelong student, just searching and seeking, but I love anything by Carolyn Mace. Brene Brown is queen. You can't go wrong with her. As far as specific to Reiki, Penelope Quest is great. And I think that anyone that is just starting on this journey, a Usui Reiki Level 1 class is a great way to get started on setting up a foundation of education.
Thank you. And, to wrap up my questions before my co-guide gets in to, our questions that we've received from the audience, where can somebody find you if they are interested in a session or training?
So the easiest way to connect with me would be through text or email. My telephone number to text is 724-689-5849. Email is miarusinko@gmail.com, miarusinko@gmail.com, or my website, miarusinko.com, which is currently under construction because I have added some beautiful new modalities to the services that I offer that will be available soon. And I would love to connect with anyone that's interested in hearing more about what I do.
Thank you. So with all that, I really appreciate, your running through our questions today. And Tracy, I'm going to turn it back to you with your, selection of audience participation questions that have been sent in to us.
All right. Thank you, Mia, so much for answering our questions. So we have some questions that came through social media and through email. So our first question is, which non-invasive healing strategy do you frequently use?
So I think that Reiki is the foundation of what I do. But the beauty of Reiki is that it blends very well with any other healing modality. So my services are very intuitive. I came into this life intuitive. It was something that I developed throughout my entire life. So I will incorporate that higher guidance, pulling it down into what I do, combining that with Reiki, quantum healing. I offer card readings, spiritual mentorship. Sometimes I will use a pendulum or chakra balancing tuning forks. I just customize each session to my client's needs at that time. So you're always going to get a little bit from the buffet of services that I offer.
That's wonderful. Now, this question is from one of my students who was curious about this. So, are there any spiritual principles that steer your work?
I've always been a very spiritual person. I am not religious at all. So my connection and my communication with the divine is beautiful. I think that it was enhanced again from my near-death experience, and that empowered me to be more clear about living my truth. And just to keep it really simple, I always go back to doing everything with love. Love, faith, trust in yourself, loving who you are, and empowering that light within you. We are, each of us, illuminated by our soul self, that spark of the divine that fills us, that heart center, and just allow that to fill you so that you can lead your life with truth.
That's beautiful. Thank you. And our last question we have is, what do you want everyone to know about your type of style of reading, your reading style? And it also could be your Reiki style as well. So,
Again, it's just very intuitive. I sit down in reflection and meditation before I do a session. Clear knowing is my greatest gift. So I can see, sense, and feel energy, but that feeling, knowing, is what really leads me forward. And that's another beautiful thing about Reiki. It allowed me to get clear within myself about how to move forward in my life, about connecting and embracing to my intuition. So I truly just trust the process. I love to communicate with the people that come to me and just open that flow so that they feel safe to simply be as they are in that moment, and just to hold space for them.
thank you. And it was interesting before you had come on today, as you've been my teacher, my mentor, the one I kind of look up to, and so much of what you've taught me comes out in my own teaching. And when I was thinking about you, I was actually thinking of kind of you holding a lantern and kind of guiding me on the path. And then you brought up about the flashlight. And so it was so perfect that that's how I kind of see you as, this, here you go, you can do it. And you're like illuminating the path for me to like, go, you've got this, even though I felt like I didn't have it in me, but you saw something that I didn't. So I want to thank you for that and everything that you have taught me and being along in this journey. And then, through you, I connected with Mia. So what a blessing it has been. So I just want to take that moment just to thank you. So thank you for answering the questions. And I'm going to pass it back to my lovely co-host, my lovely guide on this journey. Millie, it's back to you.
Thank you. I was just echoing that sentiment, Tracy. I was thinking of Mia as our Reiki docent. She has the flashlight in the paddle, and she's guiding us along and pointing out the various sites, opportunities, and works along the way. So I love it. I love it. A whole new set of definitions and terms. It's perfect. Perfect. So again, I echo that sentiment, Mia. Thank you so much.
I love
for
it.
not only just joining us today, but for all your love and friendship and guidance. As I've learned with you, no question is too hard. Challenge myself and get out there and look around. And none of us has what I like to refer to jokingly as the little T-Rex arms. We're not holding things so close to our chest that, we're not able to share those blessings and graces with others. And I really appreciate all that you've done for myself and others over the last few years. And with that, I am announcing that we're going to take our meditations into a separate podcast. So we keep this succinct and brief for you so you can enjoy both or one or the other or both whenever you're ready. So please, keep an eye on our ReadySetReiki.com site so you can gather more information there. Also on our individual websites and Facebook pages, Tracy and I. And with that, I'd like to just say that, seeing beauty in everything is a choice. Please choose wisely.
Thank you both for allowing me to share this journey with you. And I do just want to say again, both of you talking about this, I just hold the flashlight. We all call ourselves healers, and that's a beautiful thing. But, we shine the light and you do the work. So it has been such an honor and a blessing to share this journey with you. I love you both.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this Ready, Set, Reiki episode. I was your guide, Tracy Seawright.
And I'm your co-guide, Millie Pampina.
And we hope that you've enjoyed the show. See you next time.